Hey, good morning, Bob. Trade Genius, the 2nd of September. And I took yesterday off. It was a long week of trading, but a good week. And now I'm starting to do my homework for Tuesday. But I'm going to look at, the reason why I have the cryptos up first, I look at the ratios. So we'll look at those together. And a couple things too, just so you know, is that we put together, if you see this thing that's in green, is that we have the slingshot that we talk about for day trading the futures market. We're modifying the slingshot for trading view and for multiple time periods. And so we released it. We haven't officially launched it yet, but Phil is offering anybody that joins the crypto room, is if you get special number 1 or I believe special number 3 for the fall special, which runs to Monday evening. He'll throw the slingshot in, and what the slingshot does, it looks at multiple look back periods to look for overreactions to the downside, and so it picks up the reversals. It's just killer for us in the futures market, and it back tested well for us on the in trading view here with cryptos, and we'll also have it for stocks once we get done testing through it. But we use multiple things to look at buy sell, and as you can see here with Bitcoin to the dollar, is that's a nice uptrend since our last buy signal on Bitcoin. It's up 6%, and an interesting thing I'll show you on another chart that I do too to kind of help you just develop edges in trading is I'll show you another trick that I personally use and see if it helps you as well. But we're pushing through. Sunday we always get these little topping candles. We'll see if they try to start bringing it down a little bit Monday, Tuesday. But right now, relative strength for Bitcoin against the dollar is looking good. And like I said, we're 6% to the good on the last trade. I'm sure Phil is calling out some moves higher on stops, and as well as I am. And so just keep an eye on it. Looks pretty good. Regains this line, starts going into up into the 9 handle. So kind of fun to see it happening. Okay, this is Bitcoin against oil. Looks very strong. This is Bitcoin against the euro. Still looking good. Like I said 2 weeks ago, something's changed in the market, and it's good to see these ratios. Bitcoin against the yen, looking good. Bitcoin against gold, looking good. And Bitcoin against SPY, also looking good. The consolidation here, this is on money flow, but price is still going up, and it looks like we're going to capture it. So we'll see if this is we're starting to see some divergence here, but we'll let's see how it plays out. And this is Bitcoin against the bond price, and it's looking good too. So Bitcoin's still looking like a really good safe haven against other asset classes. And then here's oil itself. We had a nice trade on USO. We did an at the money basically sold call against the position. That position got taken out on us on Friday, so we maximized the profit of the trade. And now it looks like we'll have to see if there's some consolidation coming in here on oil, or if it's going to try to move up to the top of this channel here. So keep it in mind, but we're out of the USO trade, and it was a nice trade for us. This is interesting. So a nice little bounce on corn here on Friday, and looks like maybe setting up for its next move here. And if you notice, we got both a buy signal from my system and also a slingshot on as well. So it's something to keep an eye on if you like to trade the ags. DBA is still drifting down, although we're getting a little reversal here with money flow, so we may see this thing turn. And German stock market still downtrending. Had slingshots here. You see how the slingshots work? A nice push higher, and but it looks like that's starting to fade here. dust has been pretty strong here. We had a trade on it about a week and a half ago, and but it's not relenting yet. But when this thing drops, it's just going to be amazing. So I'm going to watch to see a rollover in money flow here. But it's at the top of the channel, so the risk reward's in your favor if you like to take shots at shorting these leverage ETFs. Emerging markets. I'm not a fan of the emerging markets. Everybody thinks we're going to rush out of the U.S. markets into emerging markets. I don't know if you've been reading the news, but Italy, Spain, Argentina, Turkey, India, China, they're all a mess. So the money I don't think is going to flow into emerging markets. My speculation is going to flow into the safe havens, and it's going to be gold, silver, Bitcoin, oil, gold, those things, the miners. Here's the euro itself. Looks like it had its run, starting to come over. And this thing we see is green and red. It lags a little bit, and it's really more for a longer term swing kind of situation. So it's just a tool that I look at. But money flow already rolled over, so I suspect we'll start seeing sell signals on that. And the yen. So it looks like it's starting to put pressure on the yen again to keep the market up. This is gold against oil. I like to look at to see which of those safe havens that people like the most. It's kind of refreshing to see that gold is capturing some relative strength against oil. Here's GDX, still struggling, but I like to see if this becomes a higher low, and that'll be a good trade once this turns up. But right now they've just been putting the hammer down on the miners. Same with GDXJ. This is constructive though. 3 higher lows. Now we want to see it make a higher high. GG looks the same. Gold, we're already getting some relative strength there. I like that money flow sitting on the upper end. Love to see this thing turn and go. WM's been strong, and I think biotechs are a big reason for that. Lithium had a little pump and then just rolled right back over again. And so, I have watched lithium because it reflects the car market and also China. There's Nugget, the other end. Put call ratio has been crazy. I mean, it's gotten down to like 0.5 and 0.7, and this market's been driven by the derivatives. That's all that's left. So they've been chasing people whose bets are too big one way or the other. So here's the Qs. Looks like some weakness coming in there. KSDS. So that's the short of SPY. Higher lows for SILJ. Like I said, we want to start seeing that thing turn around. Silver. Here's SPY pushed up. I'm expecting that we'll get some weakness next week, and then I think they'll ramp it into the Fed meeting. But we'll see. Maybe they want to force the Fed to scare the Fed out of raising. So we'll have to watch it. And SPY to gold. SPY has just been a better trade than gold. Obviously, look at that. It's just the relative strength is there. This is what the bankers want you to see. The SVXY starting to roll over. We're also seeing the VIX move up with SPY, and that's usually pretty bearish. So usually people start protecting themselves, then they just get out of their positions and let the trap door. Last time they did it was late January. I don't have to remind you what happened in February. Huge sell-off. They're having a hard time getting the bond yields up on the 10-year. I think bond yields are going to fall. I see 2.3, 2.4 on this. There's just simply, you can't tolerate higher interest rates, so the whole machine will break down. Let's see what else I want to show you. I'm watching natural gas here. It's it's just trading nicely here. There's slingshot on it too, so we'll see how next week is. Like the last 2 days, boom, boom. And there's oil. Like I said, we took this trade. We're out now, and then we'll reevaluate. And then here's the VIX. VIX has some relative strength. And by the way, the VIX has the most relative strength even against Bitcoin too. Here's VXX. They've been having a hard time pushing this thing down. I think it's going to spike. And here's the reason why IWM's been doing so well. The biotech index is doing pretty good. And XLE, nothing interesting there for me. XME rolling over. This is to me economic barometer. And back to Bitcoin. So I want to just show you something else real quick here while I'm boring you on everything else here. So I'm not Phil, so I do my own trading here. But one thing that I always look at is, and I started doing it since the futures market came out, is one thing I noticed trading futures is that as the week closes and the days close, you know, people that have positions, they tend to close them, especially, you know, they don't want news weekend risk. And so I've been following what cryptos do from Wednesday night basically into Sunday. And then I mark it with either a blue or a red arrow. I know I can do green, but blue's my favorite color. And then I look at to see if money flow is positive or negative. And there's definitely a correlation between rising buying pressure and the Sunday trade. So when I notice we're in an uptrend on money flow going into Thursday morning, I may buy my allocation for that week and take advantage of a bump. And then if it's on the waning side, I'll just hold off and wait until I get a positive expectancy with money flow and then double up. So I just want to share that with you. It's north of 70%, and I've been tracking this thing since well, here you can see for yourself. So pretty cool. And this kind of homework that you need to do, looking for edges and expectancies, and I like it a lot. And then one last thing I'm looking at is FCX here as a kind of a proxy, this copper gold proxy to me, and it's still showing some definitely showing some weakness yet. And I think the dollar is going to remain strong. But it looks like the miners in gold and silver are starting to resist it, and that's what we're looking for to see if we can get opportunity to take a trade. So anyway, it's Bob from Trade Genius. Thanks for listening to the long conversation here. I'll be doing a bunch more videos before Tuesday morning, and take advantage of our specials. We extend them over the holidays. We totally forgot when we said the end of the month that, oh yeah, 3-day weekend. So if people want to hang till then and add to, they're more than welcome. The response has been overwhelming to our service, and we'd like for you to join us. We really take this seriously, and we try to get the emotions out and try to get the edges put in so that you guys can make money nearly every day in the market. Bye-bye.